Donald Trump say? All right, real estate ban on Wall Street. I'm sorry, on single family homes. Everybody knows if you are in the single family housing market that sometimes it just feels like it's hard to get into a house. And the craziest thing is, this is why I want to go through the walkthrough later on in the show, is that somebody owns these homes and they are presumably paying less to the bank than you are paying in rent to them. So psychologically, by the numbers, you can afford to pay for a house, because if you're paying rent already, you're already paying the cost of what that house is. So what is the hard part about buying it? Well, that's the when institutional investors get in. The institutional investors have so much money to scale, so like they can buy 100 homes, 200 homes at a time. They can pay more because they just have more money available to them. So single family homes, we're not talking about apartment complexes. We're not talking about big buildings. We can't afford those anyways right now. So what did Trump say? Here's his latest tweet.
Put Grant on speaker right here.
Trump's tweet. For a very long time, buying and owning a home was considered the pinnacle of the American dream. It was the reward for working hard and doing the right thing. But now, because of record high inflation caused by Joe Biden and the Democrats in Congress, the American dream is increasingly out of reach for far too many people, especially younger Americans. It is for that reason and much more that I am immediately taking steps to ban large institutional investors from buying more single-family homes. And now we'll be calling on Congress to codify it. People live in homes, not corporations. I will discuss this topic, including further housing and affordability proposals and more, at my speech in Davos in 2 weeks. Davos is the international economic forum where all the rich countries go to talk about how they're going to control our lives with money. But what is my opinion on this? Okay, I want to make sure that you guys get my opinion. That I've had some comments saying, so what do you think? I think it's a good idea at its face. I love it. Stop big institutions from coming into single family homes. I think I like the aggressiveness of it. I hate when politicians just talk and talk and talk. I just need somebody to do something. Stop institutions from buying homes. Why do they need so many homes? Right? And for the numbers, we'll get into it. Large institutions bought 500,000 homes, or they own 500,000 homes as of February or in 2024. So you have 500,000 homes that were bought and purchased by companies that have no intentions of ever living in them, just renting them out. It takes away from the community feel. It takes away from the little guy trying to get in. How can you compete with Blackstone when they're willing to pay 20, 30% above asking price? But just because I love it in concept and in theory, do I think it's really going to help? Well, I also think that this can backfire. This can go the opposite direction, because the housing market is not just strictly about numbers. It's about the feels. It's about the vibes. We buy houses based on how we feel, not just based on the number. If we feel that things are going in the right direction and we're feeling good, consumer sentiment index, then we tend to buy more houses. If we think that the market is going bad, people look at the stock market, they say, oh no, the stock market's going bad, maybe it's not a good time to invest, when they don't even got no stocks. They're not invested. They're talking about, but not a good time to buy a house. People are always waiting for the crash. So why is this potentially a bad idea? Potentially is because, or maybe not a bad idea, but can backfire, is that so many people are going to read this and they're going to say, oh, wow, there's going to be a huge opportunity to get in now and not have to worry about competing with the institutional investors. We're all going to buy houses. So there's an influx. It brings more people into the market. Prices then start going up. Ain't that crazy? Because realistically, let's go by the numbers. How much of a percentage do you think institutional buyers and investors have of the housing market? I'll tell you. That's what you're here for. Investors buy about 15% of the housing market. 15%. Actually, it was like 16.7 according to what AI chat you use. 16.7% of houses bought in the market are bought by investors. Is that a large number? Is that a small number? I don't know. That's just the number. 16.7%. So, how does that affect when you're buying as a first-time buyer? Well, now on top of that, Donald Trump didn't say he's going to ban all investors. He's not going to ban all investment, naturally. There's mom and pop investors. There's medium-sized investors. There's large investors. I'm on the smaller side. I'm not, believe me, I'm not affecting housing markets. I'm not. Maybe in my neighborhood, if I buy one or two, maybe, on my section of the block. But nationally, CNN is not writing about me and anything I'm doing. So it's not affecting me. It's affecting large national investment companies and companies like BlackRock, like I Home something. These large companies that have 200,000 homes. People are speculating that he's going to ban companies that have over 1,000 homes. Over 1,000. So what does that mean as far as the numbers? Well, those companies only have about 5% of the market. 5%. So 95% of the real estate market might go unchanged. We're looking at banning 5% of the market. Is that going to help? Certainly it's going to help by at least 5%. But is that really going to change anything? Or are we looking at the wrong things? Are we looking at banks that aren't giving favorable loans? Are we looking at our policies in these cities that don't allow for construction of new houses fast enough? How can you really affect affordability? Because this might hurt because more people are going to flood in thinking that it's a bigger number than it really is. And in reality, it's 5%. However, for those people that think, well, maybe this is going to help, maybe it's not, there's one guy that has a unique opinion. Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone came on the Ryan Pineda podcast. He had him on speakerphone, and he had a unique opinion. This podcast, I don't like to promote anybody's philosophy or anything, but Ryan Pineda was kind of tiptoe-ish, like, oh, I don't know. He likes Trump, so he doesn't want to disagree in anything that Trump says. I have a whole reaction video on that Ryan Pineda interview with Grant Cardone and his co-host. His co-host was doomsday. Oh, this is bad. This is the end of real estate investors. Oh, whatever. Like, we'll never be able to get out of this one again. But look at what Grant Cardone said.
Put Grant on speaker right here. What's up, dude? Dude, I got you live on the podcast right now. We were talking about you. Did you see this new news with your boy Trump?
Of course I did, dude. I knew about that 60 days ago.
So what's going to happen?
I think nothing's going to happen. Everybody that's looking to buy a house, y'all got to quit complaining and acting like victims. Look, 40% of America does not have a mortgage on their home. 65% have a mortgage under 4%. Institutions are buying real estate because Americans aren't. And so Trump's going to do this. He's going to be like, yeah, that's not right. So what? He's a promoter first.
So what do you think these guys like America Home for Rent and stuff who've been buying up all these single families, what do you think they're going to do?
But they're not. Everybody thinks they're buying all the homes. The institutions own less than 5% of all the housing stock in America. You guys are overplaying this thing.
You think Trump's just doing it for PR? Is that the assumption?
Trump is the greatest promotion man in the world. Second, maybe to Elon.
Get him off. You heard that? Nothing's gonna happen. This is from a guy who owns. I'm gonna give him the credit that he's due. Billions of dollars in real estate, maybe $1 billion plus, and he's heavily in the real estate market. Now he primarily focuses on large apartment complexes in the Sunbelt states, so maybe not the single home too much, but he's an insider. He has some sort of knowledge that the average American, even the average investor, does not. And his sentiment is, nothing's going to happen. This is just really gerrymandering and pandering to the people. All right? But realistically, it's only 5% of the homes that he's talking about. And out of those 5, it's not like there's not homes out there available. It's just that you guys need to stop complaining. You need to stop complaining and just buy more homes. Coming from a rich white guy, right? That's the problem that we have in this country. The billionaire, and I'll give him credit if he is a billionaire. I don't know that to be true. The billionaire is telling you to stop complaining and just go and buy more homes. And if you listen to that full interview, he said, as a matter of fact, don't even buy a single family home. Start with a 16 unit, maybe a 32 unit. Just go buy a 32 unit building. So disconnected from reality. Disconnected from reality. Do I think something's going to happen? I do. I think more people are going to start looking into buying homes. Because they're going to start looking into buying homes, home prices are actually going to go up. And banks are now going to have more available capital to do funny things and funny business. Well, they're going to say, well, last year we didn't have this regulation, so we invested $5 billion into buying homes. This year, what are we going to do with this $5 billion? Maybe we loan it to people to buy their own homes at higher interest rates. Maybe we put it in another investment cycle. I don't know where they're going to put the money, but you can't stop the flow of money. All right. What we need to do is redistribute the wealth into the community, not just stop people from doing stuff, right? Like, because what's going to happen when these banks then start buying homes under LLCs, right? Like maybe it's not BlackRock, maybe it's Greystone LLC, Ruby Rock. Buys 5 houses, 6 houses. There's always, if there's a will, there's a way. And these companies get clever. We need to start really cracking down on them. So I do think that something's going to happen. I don't think that nothing's going to happen. But what I do think Grant Cardone is right on, and this is what I want to spend the next 10 minutes going over with you guys, is that there are opportunities right now to buy homes. I think that there is a large population out there that thinks that they cannot get into a home right now. They cannot afford a home, and it's somebody else's fault. It's the bank's fault. It's the large institutional investors' fault. They can't afford a home. Well, how much home can you afford? How much?